There's something up there. I heard it. I really did. Okay. Wow. You know how you go into some old places and you kind of, you don't know, and you hear some spooky noises and things. Well, I heard some kind of scratching noise, like a rat chewing on a board or something like that. Yeah, it kind of fits for the film that we're going to be talking about today. The film is, let me catch my breath, Nosferatu, Symphony of Horror, 1922, F.W. Murnau. This hallway here, going up in there, kind of reminds me of some of the structures that you're going to see. Of course, it's going to be a beautiful black and white, but we have the nice color here with the sunlight kind of filtering in. Sun is starting to go down too, folks, so I gotta kind of hurry up my little talk here. You know how it goes when the sun sets and there are vampires about. They kind of get up and walk around, and I don't want this to occur anytime soon. Well, let's talk about Nosferatu. This film was shot in 1921, ran into some legal difficulties. Well, what happened was that they didn't get real clearance from Florence Stoker, who was the widow of Bram Stoker that Dracula was based upon. That he wrote Dracula, and this film is based on Dracula. The names have been changed, but it's still very close to the Dracula novel. Now, when they took him to court, they won, and they were ordered to, well, dismantle and destroy their prints and turn over all their footage. Well, they sort of did that. They sold their footage off, and, well, butchered versions of this popped up even after it was ordered to be destroyed periodically throughout the 20s. And when Universal released their own Dracula, okay, a few more copies of Nosferatu popped up, and Universal ordered those prints to be destroyed to cover their own bases for their Bela Lugosi Dracula. In the 60s, a better version of this appeared, and it has been restored, and largely we don't know if we exactly have the print as it originally was intended, but it's about as good as we can get at this point. That's the whole problem with restoration cinema. But like any good vampire, you can't keep them down. They keep coming back, even if they're in pieces, okay? They're going to come back. Now, this film stars Max Schreck. Max Schreck was a man who, well, he kind of fit this role quite well. Actually, he made other films beyond Nosferatu. If you watch Shadow of the Vampire, for instance, they give you the idea that, well, one, he was a real vampire, which obviously was not true, and likewise that he was made only one movie. Well, he made quite a few. He died in 1936 of heart complications. The film that you're going to be watching is a beautiful adaptation of Dracula. The film was remade in 1979 by Werner Herzog, a beautiful color homage, and he really captured Murnau's feel. One of the things that Murnau was known for was beautiful compositions and mobile framing. Now, you're not going to see as much mobile framing in this film as you will see in his later films like Last Laugh and Sunrise, but certainly this is a film that captures the German expressionist feel. Stark shadows. Look up in there, you can see the nice stairwell going up, and the stark black and whites that are created by the fall off of the light. This is something that you will find in Nosferatu. Nosferatu, beautiful film. Max Schreck, F.W. Murnau. He's a name that we will probably run into later, because no doubt we'll want to talk about, well, Last Laugh, one of the films that we do have in our collection. He is one of my favorite filmmakers, and he made probably one of the best vampire films of all time. This version, okay, this Max Schreck incarnation of the vampire, really sets one of the templates for the vampire figure. Here you're going to see the rat-faced, large-toothed, long fingernail, very ugly, dead-like character, sort of phallic in his look. This is sort of in contrast to the Bela Lugosi, Frank Langella romantic vampire, the very sexualized character. Those two trends run through basically the various kinds of depictions that you will find of the Dracula figure. You will see this picked up again in Tobe Hooper's Salem's Lot. Looks very much like this. Likewise, Francis Ford Coppola, in his Bram Stoker's Dracula, has Gary Oldman in early parts of the film play a Max Schreck role. Willem Dafoe does a fantastic job as well in The Shadow of the Vampire, playing Max Schreck, or the vampire Orlok. You ever notice something also? I'm hunting vampires at this moment. Sun is going down. Something doesn't match here. Doing one of those things that happens all the time. We vampire hunters have it all together usually. Okay. Upstairs I got my bag of steaks and a big mallet. Ready to hammer this fella. Okay. But I forgot to look at the clock. I kind of slept in a little bit, you know. I was up all night, you know, kind of playing around. And sun is starting to go down. I got limited time. I gotta get up there. Well, have fun with the movie. See you later.